How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel, and here's not really a what if. Once again, it's a discussion video, and I do want to preface this by saying that I am not the first one to do this, nor am I going to be the last, but I am the first one to do it with a JoJo kind of theme. You know, giving a JoJo character a Pokemon theme. But I am probably the first, but I probably won't be the last. So yeah, as you can see in the title, we're gonna do Dio. So I do want to say that I could make this into two separate videos, but I really don't want to do that. So we're just gonna lump in part 1 Dio and part 3 Dio into one video. So let's see how long this turns out. So the first Pokemon I have on the list is Umbreon. For those who don't know, the dark type in Japanese is known as the evil type, so that would perfectly fit in with Dio's evil personality. So his team's gonna have a lot of evil type Pokemon. Two of its dex entries lend credence to this idea. As the gold dex states, when agitated, this Pokemon protects itself by spraying poisonous sweat from its pores. While Dio doesn't sweat poison, as far as I know, Dio did poison his father over time because he hated him. You know, Dio got mad that his father killed his mother, you know, by overworking her, and then, you know, he would beat on Dio, so he's always drunk all the time, so yeah, I think it could kind of fit. Kind of a stretch, but I think it could fit. The second dex entry is from Ultrasun, which states, this Pokemon is nocturnal. Even in the darkness, its large eyes can spot its prey clearly. This would obviously go great with Dio's vampire side. As a vampire, Dio can only get up and walk around at night, since, you know, he'll be incinerated, and he can see in the dark, because he's a vampire. He's got that power. And yeah, that's about the only reasons I have Umbreon on this list is mainly due to the sweat thing and his, you know, being able to track down people at the dead of night. Speaking of his vampire side, a great representation on how he got these powers would be his second Pokemon. Unovian Yamask would be a great reference to the stone mask Dio used to become a vampire. As the sword deck states, it wanders through the ruins by night, carrying a mask that is said to have been the face it had when it was still human. I've got nothing else to say about this, as a vampire walks at night, and the stone mask looks like a face. Now, I do have another reason I have the Unovian Yamask on here, which I will explain later, so just wait for it. The third Pokemon would be even a better representation than Yamask, and I think it would be Slowking. As the silver deck states, when its head was bitten, toxins enter Slowpoke's head and unlocked an extraordinary power. The stone mask, just like Shelter, injects stuff into a person's head and gives them superpowers. So yeah, that's kind of the reason I have Slowking on here, because, you know, it represents the stone mask probably even better than Yamask. But I also have him on here because, like, Dio's really smart, and so is Slowking. Slowking's, like, said to be really smart. So yeah, now moving on to the fourth Pokemon who represents his blood-sucking power, Golbat. You know, as the Diamond deck states, it loves the blood of human and Pokemon. It flies around at night in search of neck veins. While we never see Dio drink the blood of an animal or fly, I mean, I wouldn't put him past, you know, drinking an animal. We do know, as a vampire, he has to drink the blood of humans, you know, or else he's gonna die, and he doesn't want to die, because he is Dio. I also threw him on here because Golbat is a bat, and bats are infamously, you know, connected with vampires. And Dio's a vampire, so, you know, there's this connection there. Now that I think about it, you can also use Noibat or Noivern for pretty much the same reasons, except for the blood-sucking thing, since Noivern is known to be, like, really aggressive. So yeah, there's that too. I think you can, like, replace the two. Anyways, the fifth Pokemon will be Silvally with the Ice Memory. So for those who don't know and haven't played JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven, in that game it deals with Dio basically achieving heaven. He becomes Ascended Heaven Dio or something like that. I don't remember what the game classifies it as. But he's basically a god. Not a full-on god, because he can still be defeated by mortals, who also achieve heaven, and sort of become god, but not really. So yeah, the reason I have Silvally on here is because he's a fake god, just like Dio. He's not, you know, he's not all powerful, but he's still pretty powerful, you know? Just like Silvally's a fake Arceus. Come to think of it, it would probably fit better in part 3, but whatever, I'll keep him in part 1. But the reason I have him in ice memory form, I guess, because Dio has vaporation freezing technique. God, that was so hard to say. As it sounds, in a way, he can freeze people. So that's why I have Silvally in ice mode. Also, I needed another Pokemon to represent Dio's, at least one of Dio's other abilities other than, vampires sucking blood. So yeah. Now, moving on to Dio Brando's final Pokemon member, Lunala, the moon Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hard to find a legendary Pokemon, that could fit into Dio Brando's Pokemon team. So I ended up going with the giant bat, just like with Golbat. It represents, vampires, bats, and Dio. Besides potentially being a giant umbrella for Dio, Lunala's Ultra Moon Dex states it sometimes summons unknown powers and life forms here to this world from holes that lead to other worlds. Dio, just like Lunala, can summon creatures. Granted, it's instead of, out of like a black hole like Lunala, he does it from a hole in the ground. The more I think about it, this Pokemon would fit better with Heaven Ascended Dio, especially its shiny form. So would Silvally and Arceus, since they would look a lot alike. Anyways, let's move over to part 3, Dio! But before we continue, I do want to state which Pokemons I've decided not to change. Umbreon, Slowking, and Silvally. For pretty obvious reasons. They can't evolve, nor I think they should be traded out. The first new quote-unquote Pokemon is Cofagrigus, and this is an obvious reference to Dio's coffin. As the White Deck states, they pretend to be elaborate coffins to teach lessons to grave robbers. Their bodies are covered in pure gold. Almost like when people tried to steal Dio's coffin, they ended up dead. Also, apparently Dio had like gold and stuff in there, so very precious metals. So yeah, it's also kind of a reason. That's about it when it comes to why I put him on here. And there's also the fact that the stone mask disappears after part 1. Speedwagon shatters it, so no more stone mask. And it goes on to become a freaking coffin. Following with the evolution trend, we have Golbat evolving into Crobat. Besides it just evolving, Crobat would have one reason why he should be here. As the Moon Deck states, silent and swift in its forward-winged flight, it bites down on prey before they realize what's happening. In a heartbeat, it drains their blood. Dio, with the world and even without it, Dio is still silent and swift, as well as being able to drain someone's blood in a heartbeat. I mean, technically he's able to do it faster if he stopped time. In that case, it's in an instant, since technically time isn't moving. With that, we move on to the final Pokemon, which should be super obvious for anyone who's kept up. That Pokemon is Wooloo. I'm joking. It's Dialga. So yes, Dialga would represent the world, even though it's not a fighting type. Actually, it's pretty weak to a fighting type, just like Dio's weak to a punch by Jotaro. But that aside, Dialga can, basically manipulate time, kind of how the world does it. But Dialga's to a far greater extent. Dialga can stop time. Pretty sure he can reverse it. And, time travel to the future. So, yeah, that's why Dialga's on here. It should be pretty obvious. And you know what? Since this video isn't at 10 minutes and I need to eat this month, let's do Heaven Ascended Dio. Because why not? So let's just get the ones that aren't going to change out of the way so we can get to the ones that I will add in. So the Pokemon that are going to be staying are Silvally, Dialga, and Crobat. So the first new Pokemon is actually a returning Pokemon, Lunala. Mainly because its full moon phase looks like Heaven Ascended Dio. It would go great with this aesthetic. So yeah, that's why I brought her back, or him back, or whatever you want to call it. So the next new Pokemon will be Urshifu, Rapid Strike Style. I know at the time of this recording, we don't have a dex entry for it. However, I do think that its Rapid Strike Style would go great on how the world fights. With the rapid punches, the mudas. So that's why I have him on here. It's totally not because I couldn't think of another Pokemon. once again, for like the third time, the final Pokemon joining the team will be Palkia. As both the Dex entries for a Heart Gold and Soul Silver state, its total control over the boundaries of space enable it to transport itself to faraway places or even other dimensions. Like I've stated before, Heaven Ascended Dio is basically a god, almost kind of a god. Just like Palkia, he's able to transport himself to different dimensions and even bring others from different, places to this certain place. Such as, he can, I guess it would be kind of combination of Dialga and Palkia. He's able to bring in, let's say, Josuke from like part 8 to, what was the place? To Josuke part 4's timeline. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, the reason I didn't want to give him Arceus, like instead of Urshifu, is because Heaven Ascended Dio has already basically got an entire team of legendaries, except for like, let's say, Crobat. So that's why I didn't give him Arceus, even though it would have kind of made sense. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and if you guys want me to do, let's say, Jotaro or someone else, I'll do it. I'll fully admit that this video was inspired by Karthu. So yeah, go check out his two channels, Karthu's Game Room and Karthu's Dojo. Actually, I think he's changed the Karthu's Game Room. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.